Hey everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm feeling a little like shit. Get the pun. So I decided why not then finally do a review for Journey to Batuu. You know, it's been out for over a month now. Next week we're actually getting the announcement for the next expansion pack, and I think we're at the point now where talking about this pack isn't just going to get your channel a bunch of negative likes on a video, or dislikes on a video. Negative likes, yeah, I won't get you a bunch of dislikes on a video from people not even watching it, you know, just being mad that it's Star Wars. So hopefully today I can talk about it and, I don't know, not get crucified, who knows. So Journey to Batuu is the 9th game pack for The Sims 4, and it is the Star Wars themed pack that comes with a world inspired by the Disney park Galaxy's Edge. This world is named Batuu, and it is a vacation world, much kind of like Granite Falls or Selva Dorada. However, there are no edible lots, as well as there's no real lot that you can... how do I word this? There is a lot you can stay at, but you can't really interact with it in the same way that you can interact with the home lots, like in Selva Dorado or Granite Falls. Unlike the other vacation worlds as well, there is no specific time on this vacation that you have to plan ahead and pay for. It's not like when you go, you know, to Selva Dorada or Granite Falls and you have to pay for, you know, for like 1, 2, 7 days or whatever. In theory, you could have your Sims spend their entire life here on the planet of Batuu. You can stay there as long as you wish. There is ways to get around there no being real lots, but you know, you can definitely get away with living there. The focus of this pack is that your Sim can travel to this alien world, oddly a lot easier than it is to travel to 6am, the already alien world in The Sims 4. But either way, you can travel there and immerse yourself into the world of Star Wars. This world exists solely in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. Those are the most recent films we just got. The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker, that focus all around Rey, Kylo Ren, Finn, and Poe. And if we're gonna be honest, not really Finn and Poe. The last movie decided they didn't matter. And so does this game. Rey and Kylo are there, but no. Yeah, so anyways, when you get to this world, you have the ability to interact with this world, and the choices you make will kind of affect how things end up in the world. Almost kind of like similar to the idea of how an eco lifestyle, depending on the choices you make, decides what kind of a world you live in, except this time rather being an environmental footprint, it's whether or not the world of Batuu is, you know, free and run by the resistance or controlled by the fascist space Nazis, the First Order. So, you know, that's, you know, one pack we have environmental damage and in catastrophe, and the other one we have space Nazis. Like I said, with this pack though, you have the ability to choose which side you want to join. You can join the Resistance, the First Order, or the Scoundrels. You know, joining these sides will allow you to move up in the ranks and meet iconic Star Wars characters. For example, like I mentioned before, Rey and Kylo Ren. From what I understand, joining the other side, the world, oh my god, I can't phrase it right. Joining the Scoundrels, there aren't any iconic characters to meet there. I don't know who they could have brought in. I know they brought in a character from the Clone Wars series, and I think he also might be in, at least mentioned in that other one that I don't really watch. Rebels, that's what it's called. Star Wars Rebels. There's a lot in the Star Wars universe. I don't really watch the TV shows, so I'm gonna be honest. That character, I know the least about him that you meet in the beginning. And like I said, I don't think there's any characters that you meet the longer you go with the Scoundrels. I'll be honest, I also haven't played with the Scoundrels, so I could be wrong. But from what I looked online, they did not add anyone. So as you move up the ranks, you meet these iconic characters. You change the world of Batuu by succeeding in different missions and tipping the scales on who controls Batuu. And that's kind of like the general overview of the pack. I don't think it's a terrible idea. My first thought from kind of like the get-go are, even in the Star Wars games, we don't really have one that's quite like this. And I do think it's close enough to some of the things The Sims does that it's close enough to a Sims pack where it's not completely out of the realm of what we could expect. But this pack did quite differ and change it was quite different than what I expected, to put it nicely. Let's start in Create a Sim. For those who have seen it, I do have a much longer video where I went over the entire Create a Sim and those assets. And, to just quickly wrap it up, I think the assets are all well made. I do think Kylo Ren's mask looks a little bit more like Alpha CC than it does look something created by the Maxis team. But overall, I'd say the clothing, I think it matches the aesthetic of Star Wars very well. I do think some of them do have great use outside of this pack. I've found myself wanting to play Jungle Adventure a lot, and I found that a lot of those clothing are kind of useful there. Some of them look kind of nice if you're making a family that live out in Oasis Springs, or maybe, even Strangerville. However, I think overall the items here aren't super usable in your day-to-day play, unless of course you want to do a play where you make all of the worlds inspired by Star Wars worlds. But other than that, you're not really going to use the stormtroopers for anything. You're probably not going to use a lot of the stuff in this pack outside of this pack. One thing I did think was interesting but also not handled well is they added a bunch of new alien form kind of accessories, if you will. And how they work is they act as skin overlays. They move for like the mouth will move as the mouth, they blink, and it's pretty much almost as if having this skin detail that takes over the sim and works more like, like a detail than it does an accessory. However, they're under the hat accessory, and I do think these alien overlays are well made. A few of them feel a little lazy where they don't cover the whole body, but just like to here on the arms and like the whole torsos, shown. I don't know, it's weird. However, like I said, them being under the hats category though makes it so if you use this and make a sim with it, you'll have to put it on every outfit, which then means they run the risk of showing up just bippity bopping around town, not wearing that hat element, therefore kind of breaking that illusion of that they're supposed to be like an alien wearing it. I did try using this to make my sim aliens that came with, Get to Work, make their forms a little bit more interesting. Just, as much as I like some of the stuff we got in Aliens, they definitely have a very specific idea of what 6am aliens look like. And I'll say sometimes I want to just, play with something a little bit different. However, I'll say, while I do like that I can put these on those aliens, it does run to the issue again that if for whatever reason, because this does happen, sometimes, you spend hours making all of your Sims outfits, and then you go to play a different family and you go somewhere downtown or whatever, and you'll see that other Sim you created wearing an outfit you did not create, And if you're using an asset like this, which is supposed to be a skin overlay, but is really just an accessory, there's going to be the chance they're going to show up not wearing it, and that might break that illusion for you. So I definitely think they should have put them under skin details. But overall, the stuff they made was good. Speaking of the cast, there is kind of like a major issue tied in with the gameplay. When you get to Batuu, you're able to set your Batuu outfit, and not all of the assets are available. And some of these are fine in the sense that there's unlockable outfits as you move up in the ranks. You know, you can unlock like Rey's costume or Kylo Ren's or Stormtroopers. But the new alien hats aren't under Create a Sim there either, and I don't know what that's about. So you could get there, and from what I can tell, unless you put it on them before going to Batuu, you won't have the ability to put it on them once you get to Batuu. And from what I understand, the Sim Guru said on Twitter that when a character is wearing an alien head, they will be recognized as an alien. Therefore, the First Order won't let them join, because, you know, the First Order doesn't let aliens join their ranks because, you know, they're space fascists. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to actually test this out, because every time I go to Batuu, there doesn't seem like to be the ability to put that on my sim. As well as you can't mix and match outfits from other packs, which I understand Disney probably really wanted this to be like, if they were gonna do a Sims pack, they probably wanted to be very immersive. But then there comes the issue where we got a bunch of Star Wars assets in the base game, which, yes, they are costumes that aren't like on the same quality level as the new outfits we got for this pack. They're definitely meant to look like Halloween costumes and not look like actual Star Wars assets, if that makes sense. But if I wanted to make Darth Vader, I can't, because he, you know, they won't let me use the Darth Vader outfit. So, you know, that's kind of annoying. As well as if you go and download a bunch of Star Wars CC, you won't be able to then use it here. You also won't be able to just have Bella Goth running around in her iconic red dress. Like I said, I get the reasoning, but I don't like there not being the freedom. I did find a mod that lets you go to Batuu and not, instead of being changed into a generic Batuu outfit that you have to wear until you set your own, you come in wearing your daily wear or whatever clothing you're wearing when you go. So you could go as Bella Goth and run around in a red dress. However, you know, it's annoying. So what is the world of Batuu like? I'm going to say visually it's pretty stunning. From the photos and footage I've seen of Galaxy's Edge at both Disney World and Disneyland, I will say, yep, they did a 100% job. It looks like they recreated it down to the detail. They understood what they did in each world, how the world looks. And, you know, honestly, they did a great job. There are some issues which this does kind of relate also to the park itself, where there's a bunch of lots that are not usable, as well as they added a bunch of lots here that are rabbit hole rather than you can actually go and join. These kind of include some of the places you can buy food, as well as the droid depot. Each of the neighborhoods comes with one lot, because that's how Sims worlds work. There has to be a lot for your sim to be able to travel to. These lots can be edited with the BB enable free build cheat. However, you can't change the lot type, and you know, there doesn't seem to be like that much of a reason to change these builds. However, I did go in and I did some renovating on all the lots, because, you know, I don't know, just because I wanted to. You know, I think of myself as mostly a builder. So I was like, okay, and we're going to do this. So what I did is I actually went to every lot, the cantina, the rebel or resistance camp and the First Order base, and I added bathrooms to all those lots. I thought it was kind of stupid that there weren't bathrooms. The one in the cantina can be used by anyone. However, the ones at the camp in the First Order, you do have to kind of like be in them and be in enough of the ranks to be able to enter past the doors. And with the First Order one and the one at the Resistance, I also added like showers, because I was like, okay, there's probably a place the stormtroopers and like these rebels need to like change, you know. I also decided to add a little whole ass mother plant to the First Order base. I don't know, I thought it was funny. You can go there and you can talk to her. That's about it. You could fight her if you wanted. I just thought it'd be kind of fun little like nod to Strangerville. And I just like adding her in places she doesn't belong. I don't know. I'm a little confused why these lots didn't come with bathrooms to begin with. The only thing I can think of is, I don't know, are there bathrooms not at these places? I've never been, so I can't speak if there's a bathroom in the cantina or not at the one in the Disney parks. If not, I think that's also weird. So weird that there aren't bathrooms. Overall, I think the world looks nice. I kind of hate that everything is a rabbit hole. Like I said, you can't really even build your own droid. You have to like order custom it. I was kind of hoping that, I don't know, maybe there would be a way to build them and it could rely on the handiness skill, or maybe even if like you have Discover University and you have the robotic skill, maybe that could be used as a bonus here or something. I don't know. So I thought that was kind of annoying. Also at the Droid Depot, you can only build BB units and R2 units, which I'm not against, but I was really hoping for some communication droids like C-3PO. And I was really hoping, even if you couldn't build them here in the Star Wars world, I was hoping if you went back and used the robotics table back in your home world, maybe you could use it there and build one there. I don't know. We didn't get that. I will say I do think the world is pretty immersive. They really cut down the screen loading time since there are no lots. And they made sure that all the sounds that you hear while you're in this world are super, like they're very like Star Wars. You hear like spaceships flying by. They added special voices for Kylo Ren and Rey and for the stormtroopers. It actually feels like you're in Star Wars with the sounds and the sights. So I do think they did pretty well. There is one issue I think they did with recreating a Disney park, and that it looks like a Disney park though in some areas. I'll have some images here, but all Disney parks seem to have like greenery between the paths and the way they set up the paths. Like it feels very Disney to me. It feels very like a theme park and not something that would naturally occur in a city. So that, so I do want to point that out. But, you know, good job at recreating Disney. I didn't do a build and buy video. I think I was going to do it, but I really don't have much to say other than I think everything looks pretty nice. Once again, a lot of it isn't super usable in everyday play, unless, of course, you want to do like a Star Wars theme for all your worlds or whatever. Who knows? However, I do think you can also use it in Strangerville or maybe some kind of dystopian gameplay. I did make an alien-themed bar that's kind of shaped like a flying saucer, and I utilized a lot of these items. So there definitely is a place to use these. I just don't see myself using them on a regular base, and I think also because, I don't know, a lot of people don't like this pack. I probably won't be building with it very often. I still want you guys to like download my builds and check out my videos. So, and I think it's a nice break because, you know, I build a lot of Victorians. So it's nice to use some things that force me out of that and do something new. Let's talk a little bit about the gameplay next. I don't hate the gameplay. How it works is you follow different prompts to decide what side you want to join. If you join the resistance, you'll follow the light side and be good. You can join the First Order and be bad, or you could say screw to the lack of nuance that either of these decide and decide to go gray and join the scoundrels. As you complete missions that are assigned to you, you can move up in the ranks of your chosen path. You eventually can even choose to betray your side if you want, so that's kind of fun. There's like over 50 options, and you won't be able to access them all the time, kind of like how Jungle Adventure sometimes closes off certain paths to certain ruins. That way, so like you have a reason to keep returning and keep playing. However, I think there's an issue where a lot of these missions don't feel dissimilar enough. Even though there are 50 to pick from, a lot of them kind of some run off similar mechanics. I kind of wish they had made this pack a little bit better integrated with other packs, because I think that could help add more missions with more variety. And I think a lot of the missions here also tend to highlight the issue that Batuu is just a lot of shells with no real substance behind it, because you have to go to like rabbit holes to complete these missions. However, I don't think all of the missions are super bad, and they are kind of fun. I like the different costumes and rewards you get. I'm one of those players who I don't generally care for the rewards you get as you go up in careers and stuff. I know some people say they wish the Sims 4 had better ones. I personally just don't care for the idea of them at all. I usually get my Sims to rank up in their careers or whatever for like more money or whatever. Or because I have a certain like story I want to tell them, like, you need to be a doctor. You can't be a medical assistant. You're ruining the immersion. But you unlock some really fun Star Wars outfits, like Rey's costume, or different variations on Stormtrooper outfits. And the Stormtroopers in one of the variations of Kylo Ren, like I mentioned before, have voice modulation. So I think that's really cool. I really enjoy little details like that. I also think getting a droid and being able to upgrade it is super fun, and being able to like befriend it. I really love the droids. I think they're a highlight of this pack. Like I mentioned before, I do wish Discovery University had a cross compatibility here where maybe we could build them in the robotics station, but EA said no. So, there's another issue too with droids that I'll get to later. But like I said, I think the droids in the world of Batuu are great, and I do like you can bring them home. When reviewing packs, I really like to talk about cross-pack compatibility. Essentially, how well does this pack mix with others? How does it fit into like this larger puzzle piece that is The Sims 4? And if I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't really. If you have the base game and maybe Jungle Adventure and Outdoor Retreat only, then just because of how this works, there doesn't seem to cause like any major issues with like the game at whole. However, if you have packs, like Get to Work, the Aliens of 6am and how you get to 6am is nothing like Star Wars or the Star Wars trilogy or the Star Wars Aliens and the Star Wars universe, at least from what we've seen in like the main franchises. I know there's like witches in Clone Wars. I don't know. Aliens generally don't have supernatural powers and essentially act as humans. Other than if they have, force sensitivity. Other than that, they act kind of just like humans. The only real difference is that they look different, which of course adds an interesting parallel when you think about how the First Order and even the before them the Empire was super segregated and was discriminated against aliens, seeing as the differences were just skin deep. It actually brings an interesting parallel between real fascism. And, I don't hate that the aliens in The Sims are in the Star Wars universe don't necessarily have powers. I think it's fine. However, in The Sims 4, 6am aliens do have powers. And I don't think this inherently contradicts each other. The universe is big and diverse, so 6am aliens with powers, and then Star Wars aliens without powers. Yeah, it seems like that would work for me. However, to get to 6am, you need to have like the highest rank in the scientist career, because you have to build like a whole ass wormhole generator. So essentially there's a lot of work to get there. Not just any sim can go there. However, to get to Batuu, all you need to do is like pull out your phone and call an Uber. So yeah, I kind of wish maybe they had added that the only way you can get there is through like a spaceship or a rocket in the base game, because anyone can build a rocket. You just need to build up your rocket ship skill. So, it's definitely, I don't think, out of the realm of possibility to do that. However, they chose not to. And I think for me, that causes a big issue with the conflicting things here, especially since aliens in The Sims 4, they wear disguises. And if they reveal that they're aliens, they get, negative points to their reputation system. Like, there's a reason for them to hide. And there's a reason and a gameplay behind why you can't just go to their world. And then you can just go to the world of Star Wars. I don't know. See, that's like, that's where my issues lie, is I'm like, okay, so why? Also, there's another issue where this pack literally has no cross compatibility with the aliens from Get to Work. If you bring your alien to Batuu and remove their disguise, that seems to be the only alien power they have. They can't use mind control. They can't do any of their cool alien things. And also, it seems like having your alien reveal themselves as an alien to the First Order will not stop them from being able to join. So I don't know if it's just the coding on the alien outfits that are what keeps you from being able to join. I don't know. I kind of think that's silly that they didn't think about that with Get to Work. And yes, you can't use any of your powers there. And if you go to Batuu and manage to use cheats like I did to build a sim ray from Get to Work, you won't be able to use it on anyone who lives in Batuu. You can use it on someone else who comes with you. But as soon as you travel from one neighborhood to the other, that item from your belongings will be sent home. So that's fun. Get to Work's essentially useless in this pack. I haven't seen anything in the Get Together club system that would suggest that you were able to make a lightsaber club or any kind of like Batuu group. So Get Together, unimportant here. However, you can make a cosplay group and you could probably use some of the new clothing from this. So not a complete waste, just annoying. So season seems to have no effect on Batuu. You're not going to have, like hot summer days and cold winter. It's the same season there no matter what time of the year it is. So, that's whatever. Another fun thing is the Batuu clothing. Even though they live on a desert planet and you would think would be able to be worn in the deserts or on a hot day, those clothing items aren't tagged as hot or cold clothing. So if you make Ray in Oasis Springs and use her Ray outfit, which is supposed to be worn on a desert, she's gonna be told that she's overheating. The Sims team could patch that in later, so that's not maybe a necessarily issue, but it's something to think about, Sims team. I would definitely like to be able to use some of these clothing in other worlds. From what I've seen, the celebrity system from Get Famous also doesn't make a huge difference here. You can't bring pets to Batuu, so cats and dogs is useless. Mermaids can't use their powers here, so island living doesn't have an impact. The eco footprint doesn't affect any vacation worlds. If you use cheats, you can build on the 3 different lots and use items from any packs, but you could, put things from those packs down, but once again, I don't think that necessarily makes them super compatible. If I use everything from, if I, fill the cantina with the bar items from Get Together, I wouldn't say that makes it cross-pack compatibility. With stuff, or with game packs, we also see that, vampires and spellcasters do not have powers when they come to this world. Vampires can't even drink blood. I don't think they can even order plasma drinks. So that's fun. So I think that's my main issue with this pack so far, is that, like, when you're on Batuu, it is so limited in what you can do compared to other Sims 4 content. It kind of restricts what you can and can't do, and I think that's a little annoying. I don't know, I thought it'd be fun to, like, set Kylo Ren on fire or something with my spellcaster powers. I did find a few mods that do allow you to use your powers in these worlds. From what I can tell, though, from a little playing around with them, is you can't use them on anyone in the world, so I can't set, like, Kylo Ren on fire or Stormtrooper. You can, however, if you have the Zip Zap spell, continuously break the First Order spaceship that they have at their base, and, like, nobody notices, and, like, it's not like it gives you a negative trait, even, or negative point to your reputation, even though you're using magic in public. But, it's whatever. Let's talk about some things I'm not a huge fan of, even though I just talked about a lot I don't love. So there are no new traits. We do get new aspirations, which do add traits. But, there's no new traits. For those who didn't know, every time you pick an aspiration, you get a bonus trait. So technically your sim has 4 traits, but and I believe once you complete the aspirations, you can keep those traits, if I remember correctly. I could be making that up, but I'm pretty sure that's the worst. Or you get awarded a different trait. Either way, completing aspirations gets you extra traits, for those who don't know. But they're usually also specialized traits. They're not ones you can pick and create a sim. But yeah, like I said, so there's no new traits to pick, but you can earn some. The new outfits, like I said, I wish they'd been given, some more cross-pack compatibility, as well as I wish we'd gotten some clothings from cross different Star Wars generations. I understand this is supposed to just be the sequel trilogy, and they don't want to mix and match, just because I know Disney is very strict about their canon. So, but it would have been nice to get some, like, items that, Queen Amidala wore on Naboo from, the prequels. Maybe getting a Han Solo outfit from the original trilogy. So, I think stuff like that could have been more fun. I get why they limited the gameplay to the sequel trilogy, but I really wish they had just, gone all out with outfits. I think there's a good variation already, but I think part of the problem is they're all in the kind of same color palette, while in Star Wars there's so many different color palettes depending on the planet and depending on what era of Star Wars we're talking about. I mentioned this before, I do wish there was more variation in the missions. I do think there are some good missions, but I think a lot of them are just too busy or there's too many that go to X and do Y. Maybe they could have added a few weird ones that were just, I don't know, very, quirky. Another one, and this is, to me, I think one of the worst things they did, is So you can bring your droid home, but they lose all functionality. So when on Batuu, your droid can do anything. Like, you can have them zap people, they can have them distract people, they'll follow you around, you can set different protocols. But once you get back to any other world in The Sims 4, all they do is sit in a corner and you can talk to them, play with them, where you use like a handheld device to have them move in circles, and they can play music. And you still keep your friendship up with them. But I don't know, I just don't love that they can't follow you around. And I think especially since, Discovery University gave us the robots, I don't see why droids couldn't follow you around. Like, we have freaking robots just bibbidi bopping downtown. So, like, I don't know. I know droids for me were a highlight of this pack. So this to me is a major issue. Another issue is they ignored major parts of the Star Wars lore, while also being very strict on this being the sequel trilogy. And like I said, some of the lore might not be relevant anymore, but I'm pretty sure what I'm about to say is true. So, in canon, only Force users are able to create lightsabers. Anyone can use a lightsaber. If you watch the sequel or the prequel trilogies, you have a non-Force user like Grievous, General Grievous, who can use them, but he can't make his own. That's why he collects them. So I thought it's a little weird here that they decided that anyone can make a lightsaber. I think this could have easily been avoided by adding a new life state called Force User. And like I said, it could have really been as simple as the mermaids or aliens, in the sense where it doesn't have a complex UI system. But we decided here in The Sims 4 that Force users aren't going to be a thing, yet apparently anyone can build a lightsaber, which once again goes against the lore. I know in the theme parks you can make them. I think theme parks are a little bit different. That's one of the draws to go to Star Wars Land. And I do think if in this pack you couldn't make lightsabers, I think that is a huge issue. But since they didn't add Force user, but anyone can make a lightsaber, I don't know. It's also kind of annoying too, because there is the Force very so slightly. Kylo Ren and Rey both use the Force, and they're the only ones. I don't know, they tried so hard not to disturb the Disney canon. I just feel like they ended up making this so annoying. There is something I do want to say about this pack that I do really like, and I've kind of hinted at it before, and that's, this is the first Star Wars game that really allows you, the player, to nearly do whatever you want and make your own Star Wars story. I remember when this first came out, people saying that if I wanted Star Wars, I would just go play Star Wars. And I never really agreed with that sentiment, because every Star Wars game that currently exists, how it works is there's usually a specific plot line you follow. Very often you can't even make your own character. You either play as an existing character or one that the game developers created that would have such a little effect on the overall canon that they wouldn't really matter. So you follow this very specific plot. You have very little say in how the story unfolds. The only one I can think of that does have an effect on how the story unfolds is Force Unleashed, or Unleashed Force. It's from 2008. It's no longer canon anymore, but there were two endings. There was the official canon ending and a non-canon ending as well. in case that interests you. But for the most part though, you never really got to decide what you wanted to do. This is one of the few games that I can think of that actually allows you to play on the dark side of the Force or on neither. So I will say on that aspect there, this pack really does stand on its own, not just as being unique in the Sims world, but being very unique for the Star Wars world in general. Because like I said, you can't really make your own Star Wars narrative. And even here, you can make one. It's still kind of restricted. However, you can do a lot more freedom with it than you can if you were to play, like, I don't know, that new game that's coming out, Squadrons, or even the Lego game, Star Wars Lego games, or even Fallen Order. Like I said, this is really the one of its own. And like I said, you can even go outside of this pack if you wanted to turn the whole world of The Sims 4 into Star Wars. You definitely could. Or if you want to live out your alternate universe fanfic where they solve the Strangerville mystery, or are witches in the realm of magic, or just suburban people, you can do that with Star Wars characters. So like I said, you can definitely do whatever you want with this pack. So I have to give it to them there. They did something that I think is quite interesting, something we've never seen before. Overall, I would say though, unless you're this major hardcore Star Wars fan, I would say this pack is a skip for you. I think at this point, a lot of people who've bought it have bought it, and people who don't want to buy it have probably not. And anyone on the fence has probably made up their mind. But if you're waiting for it to go on sale, and we're waiting for another review from a nobody, hopefully maybe this helped you make your mind up. Overall, I would say I think this pack exists for one reason only. There are rumors that Disney is looking to not renew their contract with EA to give them exclusive rights to the Star Wars games franchise, and that they're even looking to recreate Lucas games so that they'll have more control. So I literally believe EA is probably just trying to, because they have this till 2023, I think. So I think they're just trying to get as much Star Wars content out there, make as much money as they can, and to make this deal worth it. I'm gonna be honest, since I've had this pack, I've only played with it a handful of times. I don't see myself playing with it very often. I don't really see it as my personal cup of tea. However, I don't see myself not using it. I'll definitely once in a blue moon be going to Batuu. The world, however, is, way too restrictive in my opinion. And even when you use cheats and mods, you still can't really get what you want. And I don't know. I think the most use I'll get out of this is actually the Create-A-Sim assets. So, yeah. Anyways, overall, I would say if you like Star Wars and you like The Sims 4, this is the pack for you. If you are lukewarm on either of those titles, well, I don't know why you're playing The Sims 4, but if you don't care about Star Wars, don't get this pack. You're not missing much. It's not changing your game in a groundbreaking way. So, anyways, next week we're gonna find out what the new pack is. So hopefully it's something that we all want. I'm hoping for resorts. Let me know down below what you think of this video. How do you feel about the new Star Wars pack? And if you're still on the fence if you're gonna buy it or not, let me know if this video helped you at all. My official view on it is, if you want to be able to tell your own unique Star Wars story, this is the game that will give you that opportunity. However, if you don't play The Sims already, don't buy this. Don't buy The Sims 4 just for this pack. and just don't. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. I also wore this because I want to let you know I have some Shit Creek builds coming up soon. So hopefully that excites you. Anyways, have a good night and please be safe out there.